Turn up the bass.
You're now listening. Yo, Tap In Radio.
With one tap, you're in. Only on Tap In Radio.
And we are on. Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Teacher's Lounge here on Tap In Radio. Thank you for joining us yet again on another lovely Wednesday. Hump Day. I am Jay, and this is, and we're the teachers. So, right. So, before we get started, we have to go through our usual spiel. So,
we are sharing our thoughts and opinions based on our experiences. We do not represent the opinions of our school district or anybody else's school district. If you feel you have questions, comments, or concerns, we urge you to reach out to your Board of Education, your principal, your superintendent, PTA, whomever you have available in your child's school district.
Yes. So, now that all the legal jargon is done, let's get into it.
Innocent.
Okay. So, this episode, actually, this is our 6th episode.
Yay!
And I don't,
Right.
I don't know if our viewers can tell, but we have a new structure going on in here. Like, the studio is lit. Like, you guys can't see what we can see, but, like, new studio.
Yes.
Who this?
I was going to get a brooch. It's getting serious. We're going to have a green screen next time.
It's like forecasting the weather and everything. That'll be dope.
It sure will.
That'll be dope. Okay, so yes, this is our 6th episode, and you guys have been rocking with us since our first interview, so thank you guys.
Shout out to our Twitter followers.
Yes. We're still at a steady 3, so,
Yes.
we thank you guys for being loyal. Right. All right. So today's episode is called The Scarlet Letter. We will start off rocky and then we'll go slow, or however Tina Turner said it. But it's not the Scarlet Letter that you're thinking about.
It is an A, though.
It is an A.
It is definitely the A.
It's going to be a little
not
weird
adultery,
at first.
though. Not adultery.
Yeah, not that one. Yeah. It's going to get a little weird at first, but we'll make sense of what we're talking
teachers
about.
usually do. It's weird at first,
right?
But you get to the end, you get it.
Right. So this week has been, this past week has been a lot. Mm-hmm. Friday was very intense with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and that was just like another hit that nobody expected or like could really process. So in talking, we decided, let's express how we felt about that. So the passing of Chadwick Boseman hit everyone hard. It surprised most of us to find out that he had like terminal cancer, and he still created so many great things in struggling with his battle against cancer. Right. So it got, I'm going to say myself, it got me in the mindset of thinking, like, how often do we go through things and we don't, like, we never talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're fighting our own fights, and it's kind of pretty much like a suffering in silence situation. So we just wanted to shed some light on our experiences and, like, what's going to happen for us. So, go ahead.
Word.
Okay.
So, you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah.
I'm going to jump around. One thing I was thinking about, as we talk these topics is, yes, we're talking about self-care. We're talking about inner battles, inner silence, and teachers go through it. We have our battles. We have our personal issues. Students have their battles. They have their personal issues. Parents have their battles, their personal. Everybody has battles and personal issues, bottled up, and they take it out on us, or we take it out on them.
Or they take it out on each other.
Right. Can't say that there aren't teachers out there who take it out on the students, and principals take it out on the staff. It's a trickling effect because you're bottling it up, and just like any bottle you shake,
it explodes.
Right, it explodes, and you don't know when.
Right.
So that's why we wanted to definitely talk about self-care. Self-care includes a lot of things. It's the physical, it's the emotional, it's the social, and it's the spiritual.
Talk about it.
And if you don't hit all four of those, if you don't maintain all four of those some way, it just, one falls, the next one falls, the next one, and the next one.
A domino effect for sure.
So we were talking about ways that we like to self-care. And sometimes, the biggest one people never want to talk about is their emotional or spiritual one.
Yeah.
And they never want to talk about what they do to self-care emotionally. You can meditate. You can sit. There's nothing wrong with sitting in a room. There's nothing wrong with sitting in a room quietly. There's nothing wrong with just sitting, thinking. There's nothing wrong with taking a walk. There's nothing wrong with any type of these meditations, humming, or even listening to bells chime, whatever. You laugh at it, but it has a common effect. And when we think about these things, sometimes we don't realize it's a good strategy to teach students these self-care management ideas as well, because when they go into college and then when they get these jobs, they have no idea how to de-stress. No. And guys, social media is not the way to de-stress. It is not the way to de-stress. Parents, while you are figuring out ways to teach yourself or tap into more self-care, teach your kids too. Back in the day, I was talking to Jada. I said, my mother used to just get a pot, some warm water, salt water, and stick her feet in it. And I started doing it too. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. And I was like 6 or 7. But, it was the way she de-stressed, and it was something that I kept doing and, kept doing. Oh, well, let me start from the feet and work my way up, It was just little things that she taught me that I learned how to keep doing as going on. So, but you got to realize your kids need to learn how to do self-care as well.
Right.
It's important to their stress management. And again, if you don't want your kids going on Instagram and TikTok and all these other places giving out all their personal information,
okay,
you got to tap into, like I said, the physical, emotional, social, and spiritual.
Right.
They got to learn something.
Right. Or the dependency may come in with coping mechanisms.
Right.
So I de-stress by like drinking wine or like smoking weed or whatever individuals may use to de-stress. But meditation, like you said, I still have to learn how to do that.
It takes practice.
And that is one of the self-cares, because when we were having a conversation, it's like, so like what self-care practice do you implement, like from person to person? And like meditation is one of those things I want to get into. So if someone knows about like a good meditation website or like something that we could utilize to share with others, please feel free to hit us up on our email or our Twitter.
Yeah, and we'll definitely post it.
We'll post it and share it with other people.
But it's practice. Meditate for 2 minutes. Then you build up. Don't try to meditate for 20 minutes the first time. You're going to fall asleep.
Right. I mean, I thought, when I heard of meditation, I thought it was like this, like,
no. I mean, you could.
Crisscross applesauce. Right. And like, all my tabs are still open when I'm trying to like meditate. And it's just like, how?
You should try tapping meditation. Tapping, you tap your chakras as you have your eyes closed. You're probably seeing, if you Google tapping meditation, they'll tap where your third eye is supposed to be, but you're quiet, you tap, you say an affirmation, you kind of move around your face. And it's also very, relaxing, because the tapping, and I'm not saying punch yourself in the face, okay, it's a light tapping. You just kind of go around, even your shoulders, your heart, and your arms. And, it's a way that definitely will keep you awake. So those of you who can't stay awake when you're trying to meditate,
I was resting my eyes. I was resting my eyes. Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Let the church say.
So, the physical ones, there's tons of information on physical, ways to self-care. But, like I said, that emotional, that social, and that spiritual one, people don't like talking about it. Yeah. They don't want to talk about it. And those are the ones where people struggle.
Yeah. I agree. I will not deny that one, because like, being an anxious person myself and recognizing anxiety and recognizing what that looks like, and like anxiety's cousin, depression, recognizing what they look like together and how it may creep up on you.
Exactly.
And especially like with the start of the school year now, for parents who are going back into teaching mode, or if a parent has to go back to school or go back to work. And when I say school, like for parents who have dual roles as educators or whomever, they're going back into this dual role, and like it's still an anxiety provoking time. It's like, well, what am I going to do? Who's going to watch my kids? If the kids' schools are closed, like what am I supposed to do with them during the course of the day? Who's going to watch them? Like, can they go around older adults to have them sit at Miss Daisy house or whatever?
Right.
So it is a lot.
And the pandemic has made one of these, the social aspect of self-care that a lot of people don't utilize, is boundaries. You guys have boundaries for people. You've got to set boundaries.
Yes.
Ladies, gentlemen, and children.
Boundaries are important.
No is a complete sentence.
Yes.
You don't have to explain.
Yes.
You don't have to justify. You don't have to give further evidence. No. And you don't have to feel ashamed because you said no. Like, set boundaries.
Like saying no and then feeling guilty after you say no. Like, oh well, I guess I could have. But it goes into pouring out of your cup. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and I was just like, I get into these modes where I don't feel like being around people at all, like at all. And I don't know if any of you guys out there get that way too. Feel free to chime in if you have those days where like hi. Like you have those days where you just don't feel like being bothered with people,
and that's okay.
And it is okay. But you know how I rationalized it? I feel like those days when you're like completely tapped out from being around people, it's when your cup is completely empty, and it's just like I have nothing else to give to anybody. Right. If my mom calls, I don't want to answer the phone. You're done. Dad, I cannot talk to anybody because it's going to be, I can speak for myself, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to be real rude. And they don't deserve that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's important. But
yeah, you can be empty, but you can also be overstimulated.
Oh.
It's too much.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. If your kids don't want to go outside and play, all right, you know what? Fine, cool. Just don't make them. But you can be completely overstimulated because you have too much work to do, because you didn't finish all your errands, because you did this, and you can't calm down. And talking to people on the phone is not going to help.
No.
Being on social media is definitely not going to help you calm down. So, and you definitely got to tap into all that. Spiritual, now that's the one people never want to talk about.
Well, let's talk about it.
They never want to talk about it. Like, it's like talking about politics. Oh no, I don't want to do it. I want to talk about it. Like spiritual. Like, everybody's entitled to think and believe whatever it is that they want to believe.
Correct.
And they should not feel guilty about it. But I noticed it in class. And you could tell it's something that some kids learn from their parents, and then they push it on, push it on over. I remember a student said he was going to D.C. to protest pro-choice.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Like, we not talking about this. We moving on. But of course, there's always that one student like, why? And then it just
spirals into something else.
He's entitled to go wherever he wants to go
and do whatever he wants to do.
And do whatever it is that he wants to do, if that's what he believes in. Telling him that he's wrong, like, nope, you're overstepping your bounds. You're overstepping your bounds. You can't tell somebody what they believe in is wrong. If you want to ask because you want further clarification because you don't quite understand what pro-choice is, okay, that's a completely different conversation.
Or where they stand on their belief, but not in an effort to challenge it, just in an effort to understand it.
That's it. But it's never that. It's always a, nah, that's stupid. Nah, this or nah, that. And I'm thinking, parents, I'm sorry. You got to tell your kids that everybody is entitled to believe whatever they want to believe, and they should not feel guilty because of it at all. If they're even atheists, they don't believe in nothing. Okay, That's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice to not believe anything and all that other stuff. But you shouldn't be pushing it on other people, and that's stressful for people.
It is.
It's stressful.
It is.
They feel persecuted, that word, which is going around a lot more. Persecution is
right.
Not healthy.
No.
On either side.
No.
So, so when you think about, your self-care, like I said, teachers, parents, think about your kids too. They need it. Everybody needs it. Think about the physical, the emotional, the social, and the spiritual aspects of it.
So for our listeners out there and for our people in the live or who are tuning in, what are some of your self-care practices for September? Have you given that thought? Because, we're in September now. Happy September.
Yes.
So what are your self-care thoughts for my parents who are at home planning to teach, my parents who are juggling all of these things at once? What are your plans for self-care? Like, how are you planning to take care of yourself? How are you planning to balance things out? Because, we're still in the pandemic, and people are still out here in these streets.
Yes, they are.
Don't get it twisted. Like,
Yes,
people are still out here in these streets. Like, I'm not going to front. I'm kind of, like, low-key still out here in these streets. Just a little bit. Like, I still go to Target, so, like, it's out here.
Yeah. I went to Burlington Coat Factory the other day. I did it. So what? Whatever. It had to be done.
So it's like I'm out here, like... No. Now, do we look like we in somebody damn club? Not at all. I may be on the boat at some time in the future.
But you know what? I notice a lot of people, like, in this time, they wait. No, I'm going to wait till the holidays before I do anything. Like, you can't
holidays
wait.
may not be here now.
Right, but you can't wait till Thanksgiving.
The holidays may not be around
New
anymore.
Year's and Christmas and Hanukkah. You can't wait till then to finally de-stress. You need to de-stress weekly. You need to make it a habit.
Atlanta is open. Oh, wow. Okay, so y'all out there, Atlanta. We still in quarantine up here in Jersey. So, hey, we're still in quarantine up here in Jersey. So, it's been a lot of picnics happening. Yeah. It's been a lot of, like, antisocial social stuff. So, it's been okay. But, like, my plan for my self-care for September, honestly, like me and Kee were talking about going to get more pedicures and things like that. And your pedicure experience.
Yes. They done went up $7 on pedicures. I've been screaming about that since yesterday.
For the PPE. They have to offset those costs of the PPE. So your nail polish and now like the scrubby thing to get all the dead skin off, that's going to cost you a little extra. That's $3 a toe. Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I was not happy with that.
Right.
And they didn't tell me until I got to payment. So
of course, they're not going to tell you in the beginning because you're going to leave. You're going to leave.
I sure would have. I sure would have turned right around. Like,
so my self-care practice obviously is to, get more pedicures. And I actually want to start getting more, what are those, massages? I don't do that enough, and I have one good friend. She goes to get massages all the time.
Yeah, I had a friend like that.
It's just I've only had maybe like two massages ever. They've been cool.
Yeah.
They've been cool, and like I think that's something I can implement more in my life.
Yeah,
so
be nice.
My own personal self-care. And the other aspect of self-care, as we talked about, like the spiritual and mental health, that's another component. We talked about like if you guys have insurance, for you guys who are able to have insurance and you pay for your insurance through your job or it comes out of your paycheck or whatever, see what your insurance covers. Right. Because if you need to go talk to somebody, if you need to have a conversation, see what your insurance covers so that you can go and maybe have a virtual visit with a social worker or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, whomever, just to see if your insurance may foot the bill.
Right, and sometimes all they need is a letter from your general doctor.
That copay is only $15.
Yeah, your doctor will write it, and you take it, and you get something done. It's worth it. Use it. You're paying all that money for it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Definitely. So make that a priority. Self-care for everybody. Everybody.
Yes.
And at least try to hit 3 out of 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Make a mental note. Even if it's taking a bath at night and like not being bothered with anybody, drinking a glass of wine or water, whatever you're into,
Tea, right?
or whatever you're into, and just like chilling out. So you said you have to pay for your insurance at your job. My
Make that face.
my visits are by phone. Yeah, so like that's cool too. I have a good number of friends who do their televisits with their therapists, which are important. Actually, I need to go back to therapy if we're being transparent, because like a lot of things are happening. So just to help balance myself out. And if you have a friend who you think may benefit from therapy, have that conversation. We're adults now. Like, have that conversation. Let them know, like, hey, listen, I think you need to talk to somebody, because it does get to be kind of heavy carrying your bag and somebody else's bag too. Which brings us into like the first part, like you really never know.
Right.
And I was having a conversation about being like the messy friend. You know what I mean? Which will be another
Yes.
title.
Are you the toxic friend?
Yeah,
You
come
don't know
next
it.
week. Look forward to that.
All right.
So like always putting or feeling like you're burdening someone else with your issues. And I kind of feel like that, obviously, like with the whole Chadwick situation, he carried this secret, like this really heavy secret, and nobody knew. Maybe obviously his loved ones knew, but like no one knew that whole time. Like you're having conversations and people was dragging him online for losing weight and stuff like that, and you really never know what somebody is going through. Like really, really, really never know. So it's just be kind if you can. Like be kind, please.
Yes, and use your vacation days.
Oh,
Use
yes.
your vacation days.
Girl, I got a story for you.
I mean, I know teachers, and I'm talking about my father too, who had over 300 vacation days.
What?
Yes, they just
What?
had vacation days just rolling them over because they never took vacation. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Take your vacation.
Yeah.
Take your vacation. Take your personal days. Take them. Yes, they're probably going to try to make you feel guilty for doing it, but that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. Oh, I'm okay. I guess I can let you off this day. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
No. And it's one of those things that pouring into your work cup. So feeling like guilty for taking days off, right? Feeling guilty for taking days off.
And
then
that's
like
the scarlet letter.
when you're
absentee.
Yes. When you're at home and you're like, damn, you know, I really wasn't sick today, but I just couldn't do it. Like a mental health day, those are important too, mental health days, because you like 2.5 seconds from blacking on somebody at your job. If you get to that point, just take off or take a half day.
Right.
If you feel like, oh, well, I don't know if I could do it, take a half day. Come in later if it's feasible. I know it's not feasible for everybody.
Right.
Some people are not salaried, some people are hourly, so it's like if you're not at work, you're not getting paid.
Right.
So like no way, shape, or form are we trying to mess up your bag at all. However, if it gets to a point where you feel like you cannot do it anymore, take some time.
Listen
for
to
real.
your body.
Yeah.
Listen to your body.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
gives you all the clues and all the answers you need.
For real.
If you are tired, don't go in there fooling with these kids. I call out. I'm like, you gotta.
Yeah.
So you just gotta stop and you gotta reset. And you know what? Same thing. And remember, I was talking about the chicken pox. I kept telling my mother, Mom,
She didn't believe you.
I swear,
She didn't
I
believe
have
you.
the chicken pox. And she sent me back. She sent me back. And she took me out to the store. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be out and about at the store.
Giving it to everybody.
Just out there. Just out there. She would not listen to me. I'm like, Mom, I'm sick. Like, listen to your kids, too. Yeah, sometimes they be trying to play you. But sometimes
They be serious.
yeah, they don't feel
They be serious.
well. They don't feel well.
They be serious.
You know, pain isn't just like I said, pain isn't physical. It's emotional.
Yo, remember those commercials like Depression Hurts?
Yes.
I never understood those commercials until I became an adult, and it's just like, you're right.
Yeah.
Depression does
hurt.
hurt.
It hurts.
It
everything.
does hurt.
Hurts
Yeah.
your toes. It hurts all the way up to your spine. It hurts.
It hurts.
So yes, listen to it. If you gotta be absent, you gotta be absent. Like, you'll be okay.
Can I ask a question?
The step teachers will take care of the kids.
Word.
Wow.
and you'll be fine. Can I ask y'all a question? Bam, this is for you too. Like now, I know you may embellish, but this is a serious question. Okay. So
I'm here.
okay. Have you guys ever almost or ever wanted to cry at work?
Hell yeah.
I have cried at work.
You've cried at work.
Yeah, I have cried at
You've
work.
cried at work, or almost wanted to cry at work.
I cried at work for a second, then I looked around like, get my shit together, man.
See?
So yeah.
Silence.
So like, why? Like,
Why I gotta get my shit together?
No.
No, or like why did I do it? And it's like
Yeah, like why? Like, what caused you to almost want to cry? Like, crying at work.
Me personal. It's happened. I think that I'm 32. I've been twice so far in my life. One, I was going through something and I just felt like back to back shit just kept coming. Once I knew, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Something else will occur. And then, like, my boss was just getting on my, and it's sad I had to say my boss, he kind of caught the end of the stick because I was already pissed, but then also, he really was just doing shit to irritate me. And I'm like, yo.
Supervisors ain't shit. We did say that.
So.
See, all our episodes trickle.
Nah, man. And then the second time, I just, like, it was more as like, I came across something while I was at work. I was thinking about something, and then I just like, it's like shit. I mean, like she said earlier, let me just go take a walk. Mm-hmm. But cry because of my job? Nah, never. I cried a tear of joy when I got the job I finally wanted, and I left one job.
Okay. So that's a different kind of cry at work. Not gonna
All right,
take
so
that
3
one off
times
the
then,
table.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like that cry was like, oh shit.
A burden
like,
is released.
Yes. Nigga said, what's up? I'm out. You. Yeah, I said it. That was the only job I really.
You're cool.
That's the only job I really was like, fuck a 2-week notice. And
I'm out today.
I have not been back, talked to anybody. No, I talked like some of the people I used to work with, but the main people, nah. And it's funny because they watch my social media now. They just be looking, liking.
Like,
and I go on their social media, they ain't shit now. They ain't nothing.
Damn.
All that talk they was talking, they ain't shit now. Divorce. One came out the closet even though we knew he was in the closet already. His lover don't want him no more. So now, y'all, I see it all.
Okay. Like, see, it be going down.
But yeah, cry like I said, so you can say 3 times. But that first one, like I said, like you said earlier, you never know what's a person going through. And it was like, I'm definitely 100% can vouch for that. That's me. I try not to really show too much. It's probably like 1 or 2
See, and then that's what breaks you down.
Oh, for real, being stoic, the strong friend.
Yes, but then I don't know if it's for anybody else, but for me, I'm gonna tell you what finally makes me snap. When, like you said, holding everything in, but when I'm trying to help you and tell you, and I'm like this and that, and you just not listening, and it's just like, man, you just hear it going, son, go tap, 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 and you like, you know what I mean, you little kid, I mean, you tapping.
I'm gonna ignore it.
Tap. Yo, my man, the child, like, oh yeah, I got you. Tap. All right, fuck this. I told you I'm gonna snap on you, right? Like that happens, but then it's like with me, it's like I'm talking about to the nitty gritty. Like I really be like trying to hold it, and then I be like, yo, you keep asking me. Do you ask me about me? Do you ask if I need help?
See?
Do you ask this and this that?
See?
I'm like, yo, I gave you X, Y, Z. I told you that's you. First of all, don't ask me if you're gonna do the damn opposite.
Right.
So now I'm flipping, and I'm like, yo, you know what? Some of it was for you, but
most of it was not.
It's not. Like, and they be like, yo, bro, you all right, bro? I didn't know, bro. Like, relax. I said, no, it's good. It's just.
But you know what? That's another thing. Seeing triggers.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be completely aloof to not notice somebody like that.
No, some people.
I mean, some people hide it really well.
Nah,
but
some
other
people hide it.
I'm like, they don't look like they going.
Like, I'll be honest. I had somebody that's on the station. I started noticing on some of the shows. They started coming in, up, down, and then it was down. Then they snapped right before we went on air.
Oh no.
But like I said, that person, I'm not gonna say he or she, that person was just like, yo, like, I'm like, yo, I've been trying to like talk to you for the past 2 weeks because I noticed, but I wanted to give you your space.
Right.
Thank you, Bam. You know, it's just da da da. I'm like, yo, tap in is really. If you don't think you can talk to me, trust me, talk to somebody else. But I understand y'all all still getting to know each other. But I'm like, yo, I'm the first person I give my shirt off the back. So when that person started talking, I'm like, yo, I could have helped you out.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where they may not have been comfortable coming to anybody because they may be still trying to figure it out. Whatever.
I agree with you. I think that's what it was. I think that person was trying to figure out, and it got to the end. But we wound up. I made some phone calls. This and that. Now that person was like, "Yo, good looks, Bam. I should have just. It's all right. You don't have to. No. All that I should have just. You wouldn't know. But sometimes some people just can't open up. So, honestly, the situation was they didn't want to tell nobody because they was embarrassed.
Right. So you see how that's like a full circle conversation, right? So like you said, trying to keep it together at work. You didn't get into why you didn't cry at work yet, but like just like.
I'll tell you why she cried at work. Them damn kids, people.
No, it wasn't when I was teaching.
No.
But
You never cried at work with the damn kids like.
No, my cry at work was when I was working in corporate.
Ooh. Yo, why is that a lot for a lot of people? I noticed, like, even like you ladies are teachers and guidance counselors. Even like, is it really like people above y'all?
Yeah.
Besides principals and stuff.
Yeah. The board of education.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Duh, it's crazy. My mom works for the board.
The board.
But it's like I watched that. I seen that like people on like corporate high places who finally want something, but it's just like
it's high pressure.
Yeah.
It's high pressure, and like for me, at my last job, like I talked about, that was like the worst place ever. I made a point not to cry there. And because I made a point not to cry, all of my feelings just got super suppressed.
Right.
So I turned numb.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel shit. Like I don't feel anything. Like it's off. But at this past job,
put it on a brave front.
Right.
Thugging it out.
Thugging it out. Like for real. Like Tanisha last week, our first guest, was talking about like pretty much crying the thug tears at home because your workplace is like toxic or whatever the case may be, and like you're taking in all this stuff like a sponge. You know what I mean? Like I can speak for myself because my job is to solve other people's problems. Like it's rare that I have to have my problem solved instead of like it's like a collaboration. Oh, can you help me with this student? Blah blah blah. So
it's like asking a doctor, "How are you?"
Right. It's just like you
don't
don't
ask the doctor.
Like
we don't
no
care.
one like like the
cares.
doctor's
you
about to
that
tell
out.
you what the right.
So.
No, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So long story short, bless you.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been holding that.
Do we need to get the Lysol spray?
No, I caught my shirt.
Okay, all right. That was hard.
It's been bothering me for the longest.
That was hard. Well, I'm glad it came out.
Yeah. Self-care.
Like, woo.
Self-care.
Yeah, that was hard.
See?
Woo.
Relevant.
Right.
Relevant.
He had to let that emotion out.
That would be the physical. Yes.
Yes.
The physical.
But anyway, so like I was at work and it literally like just hit me, and it's like on your subconscious, like you don't know that it's there until it's like something that triggers you, right? So I was at work and I was like, yo, I'm about to cry. I'm like, yeah, I can't be crying at work because like this shit is about to get real. So I got up and I'm like, I had a folder in my hand, so I'm like fanning my face because I'm like, okay, I'm about to start crying, but I'm just gonna fan it so the tears would just
go back in your body,
like go away.
It doesn't work like that.
No, it does not work like that. But I was like, it makes sense at the time.
Right.
So I'm fanning myself, and I run into the custodian, and he's like, "My lady, like, are you good?" And I'm like, you know, when somebody asks you and you're already in a vulnerable place, are you okay? It's just like,
Oh, he was not ready for that. He was not ready for that.
Like,
man. You just want them to say, I'm good, and keep
yeah,
walking.
like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he was just like, no, but like, are you really? And I'm just like, I'm fine. Like, I am
my
fine.
God.
Like, I'm
Ew,
trying
you
to.
are a mess.
I'm trying not to cry.
mess.
Absolute mess. Absolute mess. So I walk away. I go, like, I cry my silent little tears in the bathroom. And then I come back and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this job. Like, fuck this job. I hate it. And I was like, you know what? I'll be all right. So the next day he comes and he's just like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, no, because yesterday. It's like, I know what yesterday was. We don't need to talk about yesterday. Like, I know.
Like, ew. See if I ask you stinking ass if you all right anymore. I'd have swept. I'm like, bitch. swept myself down the hallway. You stinking ass bitch. I'm trying to see if you all right. See why you can't be nice to nobody? Stink ass. You in here blubbering.
But it was just like one of those things where it's just like, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. But I'm fine really doesn't mean I'm fine. It's just like, I don't want to get into it because first world problems, you know what I mean?
And it's going to bring back all that emotion.
It's going to bring back all
But you know,
emotions.
and that brings up another, like, back to these kids. Like, they have no self-care rituals. They have no decompression rituals. So then you send them to us, and they sitting there in a class, and somebody says something to them, or something flicks across the classroom too close to them, and
boom, boom.
Nuclear.
It happens.
Nuclear.
It happens.
And then we trying to figure out what just happened.
Right.
Like, what just happened? Like, they
Right.
lost it, losing it. And we got to talk them talk them down and send them out the room, get security to come get them. And,
woo! I'm glad you made that segue. So, I just want to take...
That's what I do.
Yeah. I just want to take a special time out to highlight, because you talked about, like, having someone to calm them down and things of that nature. So, like, on a super serious note, the school-based youth service programs will be closing in the state of New Jersey. So a lot of people may not be familiar with what school-based youth service programs are, but they're located in the side of a lot of our schools in Essex County, Mercer County, Sussex County, all throughout the state of New Jersey. And they're pretty much a teen resource center that's available to help students, and there's some in the elementary schools as well, to help them with mental health issues, life skill development, and like just person-to-person development.
Right.
Being as someone who, the district that I work in has the oldest school-based youth service program, 20 years, and now the doors are going to be closing because they're losing state funding. So, like, I'm just going to read off what school-based youth service programs are. So if you're in Irvington, if you're in Newark, if you're in the Oranges, if you're in Middlesex County, if you're in Trenton, please, please, please do the research, because some of the teens that you may know utilize these services and they're free, and the state is taking them away just because of budget cuts at the end of this month, actually. So, like, once again, like, it's a resource center for students, life skills groups, as we talked about, like the hygiene and things of that nature some time ago. Mental health check-ins, because they have licensed psychologists who work in these programs. They have social workers who work in the programs. They have people, youth employment specialists, to help students look for jobs and job readiness. They have recreation, like basically if a student is feeling bad or something like that, they can go in there and decompress, and they can pretty much relax, because it's aside from the school. And now these programs are in jeopardy of being taken out from the state of New Jersey. So that's another resource, another great resource, in my opinion, that is now going to be lost due to COVID. So just to tell you about the school-based youth service programs, if you're not familiar with it, school-based youth service programs are located in host schools and coordinate with existing resources in the community. All youth are eligible to participate in services that are provided before, during, and after school. All school-based youth service include mental health counseling, employment counseling, substance abuse education and prevention, preventative health awareness, including pregnancy prevention, primary medical linkages. So, like if for example, the one that's in orange is linked with Family Connections. So Family Connections is a nonprofit organization. So if a student is having issues and they have mental health counseling for or drug and alcohol abuse counseling and family counseling. So this is like a whole resource center. Healthy youth development, recreation, and information referral. So please, like, if you guys can go on to our Twitter page, there is a link there that's asking for a petition to save the school-based youth service programs. It may not seem like a big deal right now, but it is an impact for a lot of our young adults out there who rely on these services. To have someone to talk to, like he was saying, they come to school and we have to unpack that. And having the school-based youth service program there is another resource or another set of allies that I've come to depend on. In my district, the people who are there to help talk to our students, to help expose them college applications. That's where I started.
And there's even things you don't even think about. A lot of people put together things for kids who don't have money for prom.
Right.
And getting them prom dresses and suits and shoes and
Volley for Cancer. There's so many different things that happen in the schools that are like gems, absolute gems to the community.
Pregnant teens, they're helping them get in strollers and car seats and things like that. Like it's
absolutely,
it's imperative.
Absolutely.
Like it's imperative for
so
kids.
This will be like a great resource lost, honestly, for our teens out there, because there's some that are also in the middle schools too. So especially like I said, in Essex County, there are plenty of youth service programs. Middlesex County, Mercer County, all throughout the state. So if you guys would go to our Twitter page and sign the petition to help save the school-based youth service programs, you'll be, and in my opinion, you'll be helping to save a student. Because even though we are on virtual learning right now, the school-based youth service programs are still happening. So they're still conducting groups with the students.
Teletherapy is a big thing.
They're still doing all of that. And so especially because this transition was so great, meaning like not like great as in good, but the school-based youth service programs were there to help students cope with that. Like I had one girl who had a very traumatic experience with transitioning to online learning, and because of the school-based youth service program and our collaboration, we were able to help her get back on track. And she was an honor student, so it wasn't like someone, she was failing or anything. So, please just check out the school-based youth service program link to save it statewide if you guys get a chance. And you can even Google it too. But this is something near and dear to my heart. Because I started in school-based, and I know how great of a resource it is, and it would be a great disservice to have this program go away.
And even you guys out there who think voting is useless, voting locally actually makes a very big difference. You need to pay attention to who's being voted into the Board of Education. You need to pay attention to
definitely
who's being voted mayor. You guys, you got to pay attention to these things, because these are the ones who allocate money. They're allocating the money that we do get, you know. So it's a big thing, especially local voting. Who's sitting up there making decisions on what your kids are going to learn, what they're going to eat, how they're getting transported to school.
Let me tell you, in the professional development we had yesterday, our superintendent shared with us that our district lost $4 million due to the budget cuts.
Whew.
So that's $4 million out. $4 million from one district. I don't know if you guys have gone online to see what your school's reopening plans will be for your kids, but I encourage you to check it out. I encourage you to check what your superintendent's forum and plan was, so that you can see what it is.
Right.
And ask these questions, because we're losing money.
Absolutely.
We're losing money.
And $4 million could have bought a lot of laptops.
$4 million is a lot of money to
tablets.
lose
Yes,
in
it
the
is.
district. That's a lot of
Yes,
money
it
to
is.
lose. And that's just one district that I'm in. I don't know whatever district you may be a part of or wherever you are in the country, because we have people from all over, but these are things to look into. And that you wonder why I be calling Betsy DuVos a little trifling little something because she's in charge of it.
Right. So
Yeah.
it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So,
So.
yes. So, in closing, save the school-based youth service program.
Yes.
Save the school base. Make sure to take your personal days.
Absolutely.
Practice your self-care
Yes.
in whatever
Say
form
no,
that may look like.
Set boundaries.
Yes.
Teach your children how to set boundaries and decompress. And don't take that shit out on us. 'Cause
Most importantly.
I'm gonna take it back
Because
out on
we
you.
don't have the school-based youth service programs
Right. We don't
to
have the
depend
funding
on.
to deal with that. So that means I'd have to deal with it.
Yeah, so that's another level
And
of.
I have to deal with it my way. And
That's another level.
yeah, that's a whole another level.
But yes, so we'll be seeing you guys next week, same place, same time on Tap In Radio, and yeah,
Wear your scarlet letter.
yeah,
Absent.
boom.
Yep.
You're now listening. Yo, Tap In Radio.